To start it off, we are going to be talking about probably the most surprising draft pick from day two, and that would be Jalen Hurts going to the Philadelphia Eagles in the second round of the NFL draft. After Jalen Hurts, quarterback from Oklahoma, was expected to go around third round, maybe late second, which he kind of did go late second, but not to the Philadelphia Eagles. That was a big surprise. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles are ready to win now still. Like, they have a pretty good defense. They have a decent offense still. They have a really good offense. They just added a offensive playmaker in the first round, and they still have Carson Wentz, who had an MVP caliber season 2 years back when they won the Super Bowl, and then obviously went down and Nick Foles had it. But since then, Carson Wentz has been kind of like up in the air. Like, Carson Wentz, outside of that season they won the Super Bowl, has been like okay. Like, both Carson Wentz and Jared Goff both had a really good season. Then after that, they were kind of just okay. Like, they're just middle pack. And that's why both Rams and Philadelphia Eagles, I think it's smart at them to be looking to a new quarterback. Rams obviously did not have enough draft picks to do so. But the Philadelphia Eagles taking Jalen Hurts was a really good decision, in my opinion, because Jalen Hurts was really loved by both the Alabama and both Oklahoma, by the fans, but especially the locker room. And that's big with quarterbacks. With quarterbacks and head coaches, they need to win the locker room. Now, we don't know about that with Carson Wentz. We have not seen that really much with Carson Wentz. I mean, we don't know. Like, I'm guessing the team is fine playing with him, but like, the team loved him. Like, in Alabama, the fans were mad when Jalen Hurts was leaving because obviously they were going with Tua as their starter because he did take away the franchise, and then they were moving on from him, and they were mad because they loved Jalen Hurts a lot. And that's one of the biggest thing you want that's probably the biggest aspect you want in a quarterback, is to be a leader, and you want them to win the locker room, to just control the team basically. And both them and the head coach, that's like their biggest need, is to control the team. And that's exactly what Jalen Hurts was in both Oklahoma and Alabama. Now, aside from that, the second most important thing, obviously, is talent. And Jalen Hurts is talented. He has some time to go. I'm glad he's not being a starter out of college. When Jalen Hurts was going into the NFL, I was hoping he was not going to be a starter out of college. I wanted to see Jalen Hurts going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I felt like that would be the best spot for Jalen Hurts to have gone to, but him going to the Philadelphia Eagles is understandable as well. And the team's gonna love him. He's gonna fit well with the team, and maybe if Carson Wentz goes down again, I mean, he is injury prone, Jalen Hurts will step into his rookie year, but most likely he's not gonna play his rookie year. As long as Carson Wentz can stay healthy, he will not play his rookie season. And this is really good for Jalen Hurts. I do think Pittsburgh Steelers would have been the nicest spot, but Philadelphia Eagles, still a really good position for Jalen Hurts to go to, and this could be their quarterback of the future, and he does have talent. He does, obviously he was third round talent because he's not going to be a starter out of college, and taking him in the second round was maybe a bit of an overdraft on a lot of people. I think this was still a really good pick because it is Jalen Hurts, and he can make plays on his arms and his legs, which is huge now within the NFL. You have to make plays with both your arm and your legs, scramble around. Now, Jalen Hurts, with that being said, though, he does make plays with both his arm and his legs, but he also makes bad plays. He throws interception. But basically everything he does wrong is what a lot of quarterbacks do wrong coming out of college, and it can be workable. It can be developed and moving him to the next level. And him playing with Doug Peterson is going to be really good. That head coach quarterback relationship is huge in the NFL. Same with control, like the relationship in the locker room with the rest of the team. Like, quarterback and head coach is probably the most stressful jobs for every NFL franchise. Now, we're going to look at where would he step into the starting role. So he's going to be a Philadelphia Eagle, obviously. Where will he step into the starting role? Now, Carson Wentz, like I said, 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, they won the Super Bowl 2 or 3 years ago, where Doug Peterson was their head coach still, and he had an MVP season, played really well. Who was their offensive coordinator? Frank Reich. So Frank Reich is now the head coach for the Indianapolis Colts, and ever since he left, and they got their new offensive coordinator, so maybe it's the offensive coordinator's fault. You can blame them too, but I would personally blame Carson Wentz. I haven't seen anything really impressive from Carson Wentz in a few seasons. So Frank Reich left, and now is the head coach for the Indianapolis Colts. They got a new offensive coordinator. Hasn't worked out really. These last 2 seasons for the Philadelphia Eagles have been surprisingly really bad because they have too much talent on their team to be this bad, and they're in too easy of a division to be this bad. Last season, Dallas Cowboys won it was the Cowboys or the Philadelphia Eagles won the division like barely, and they had like a 8-8 record or something like that, maybe 9-7. I don't really know, but it was not a winning division record, and I think it was the Eagles that won the division. But still, this next season they're still going to be in the same division with the Dallas Cowboys, who are now really improved. The Dallas Cowboys had a great draft in my opinion. So, and now with Mike McCarthy running it, the Dallas Cowboys are way better than they were last year this next season. As in my opinion, my prediction is that the Dallas Cowboys are going to be a lot better this season. And then obviously you're in a division with the New York Giants. Saquon Barkley is going to be back. It's going to be a little bit tougher, but still, it's the New York Giants. They're not going to be a threat at all. They're going to get third or fourth in the division. And then the Washington Redskins. Yeah, they got Chase Young. Okay, they still suck. The Washington Redskins are still going to get third or fourth. And yeah, with that being said, though, they're in an easy division still. Now, I don't know exactly all the divisions they play. I don't know every team they play, but I'm guessing. So 6 games out of the year is going to be divisional games, and they shouldn't be that hard. The Dallas Cowboys away game, that will probably be a tough one, but the rest of them, no, not really. So where will he step in is what I'm trying to answer here. Where will Jalen Hurts step into the starting role? Because he will be the quarterback for the future. We just don't know when. Actually, he could get traded, though. I'm saying that too confidently. You don't know what's going to happen. Maybe he gets banged up and ruined forever, or maybe something happens and they don't like him and he's gone out of the locker room. You don't know how it's going to end up, but from the looks of it right now, he will be the quarterback of the future. Now, Carson Wentz right now will be the quarterback in the 2021 season, or 2020 season, and okay, fine. Carson Wentz will probably be the quarterback through his contract. I don't know exactly how many years he has left on his contract, but we're gonna see how it will shape out, how he will do with the rest of his contract. Will he look like a starter? Will he look like 2017? I think they made the Super Bowl. They played the Super Bowl in 28. Yeah, they played the Super Bowl in 2018. So it was the 2017 season that Carson Wentz was looking really well. He had an MVP season basically, but obviously with the injury he didn't get it. But still, looking like kind of a threat right now, even with Carson Wentz. I mean, if he can stay healthy, if he can look like he was back then, if not, if he looks like how he's looked these last 2 seasons, without having like Frank Wright as his offensive coordinator, or okay, he still has Doug Peterson as his head coach, but they haven't designed as many plays as they did back then. I don't know what's happened to the locker room or something. I don't know what's going on with the Philadelphia Eagles, but they looked really bad these last 2 seasons. And if this season continues to look the same and Carson Wentz goes down, Jalen Hurts coming in, that could really change. I can see Jalen Hurts, like the team loving him, the fans loving him, and him coming in and changing the franchise. With that being said, though, their secondary is still bad. Their secondary last year, oh no, they did take Darius Slay. They did trade for Darius Slay and got a huge upper hand on that deal. But still, Darius Slay's not going to change their secondary. I mean, their safeties are still kind of rough. That's not going to change their secondary really. Their defensive line still good. I can see them making a run to the playoffs with Jalen Hurts or with Carson Wentz. I can see both of that, them making the playoffs. I don't know if they're going to win their division over the Dallas Cowboys. We're going to see how that's going to shape out, but yeah, Jalen Hurts, quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, taken in the 2nd round. Let me know what y'all think. I think it was a great pick in my opinion, and I think it's going to really work out for the Philadelphia Eagles. Even though it might have been a bit of an overdraft because he was expected to go 3rd round, I think it's going to pay off, and it's going to be a well-respected pick. Let me know what y'all think. That's my opinion. Until next time.